The election campaign has begun, so where will it be fought and won? We start with Labor having a 22-seat lead over the coalition, but only a slim 3-seat majority, and it's bracing for a swing against it. It's also trying to defy history. Since 1998, first-term governments have lost at least 11 seats. If Anthony Albanese repeats that, he will almost certainly be out of the lodge. Polls have the current swing at about 3%. If that happens and the coalition only picks up Labor seats at that 3% or less margin, Labor would be in government, but down to 71 seats. Remember, Julia Gillard in her minority government had more than that, 72 seats. With the crossbench on the whole unlikely to be friendly towards Peter Dutton, he needs to win crossbench seats and Labor seats above that 3% margin to be able to form government. If he can do that, the House could look something more like this. The crossbench down from 16 to 10, so Teals and Greens are gone there. The coalition clearly ahead of Labor and able to form government. It would need an even bigger swing for a majority. So where is the most fertile ground for the coalition? There are plenty of marginal seats to choose from across the country. Of course, a lot of these Labor in the West, Victoria and New South Wales. They will be keen, though, as well to pick up those 2 Green seats. Ryan and Brisbane lost in a surprise to the Greens in 2022. Low expectations, though, are being set on winning back independent or so-called Teal seats, but backed by Climate 200 in terms of funding. All of these in inner cities, Curtin and Goldstein the most likely to fall. If the Teals do manage to hang on in all 6, they'd be chalking that up as a major win. There are some chances for gains for independents. They did go close in Bradfield and Wannon in 2022. The same candidates are trying again. Flinders and Macpherson, they'll be funded by Climate 200, but do seem a bit more of a reach for now. In WA, the huge swing against the Liberal Party last time has left some big margins. The new seat of Bullwinkle, the most likely gain from Labor. Tangney also seen as a strong chance. But it's the outer suburbs and regions where the Liberal Party thinks it can make some big and unlikely gains from Labor. This is a cohort of voters smashed by cost of living and rate rises and more likely to back Peter Dutton in a personal sense as Prime Minister. Hunter, for example, that's been held by Labor since 1910. It is seen as in play. Macquarie, it's the outer west of Sydney. Despite the 6.3% margin, it's not seen as safe either. And the closer this election has loomed, the more both major parties have spoken about Victoria as the place to watch. The Labor state government is deeply unpopular, and that's meant that those outer suburban seats with bigger margins are slowly coming more into play. Bruce at 5.3%, Hawke at 7.6%, and then in and around Geelong, Corangamite at nearly 8%. In the NT, Lingiari firmly in the coalition sights with that 1.6% margin. Despite the bigger one as well, Solomon has also been seen as a realistic target. We know the NT can swing hard. And it won't all be defence for Labor. There's some hope of flipping a few seats if they can get some momentum back, particularly from that February rate cut. When we look at the seats they could contest, Sturt in South Australia is the closest one. Bass, a similar margin. Banks seen as an outside chance, and Warren Entsch is finally retiring in Leichhardt, a seat that Labor has eyed off for some time. What about Adam Banton, the Greens? Well, he will have been thinking not so long ago last year about expanding his empire. There was talk of the Greens taking more seats in Melbourne. Since then, there's been a dip in popularity and a big money campaign against the Greens being rolled out by Advanced Australia. That shifted expectations. The Greens would be happy to hold the gains they got last time in southeast Queensland. Those 3 in the end surprise gains they picked up. We know, of course, how the Greens and Independents perform will be crucial to the outcome of this election. Their number grew, remember, from 6 to 16 last time around. Simply put, if that number is as high or higher, it's almost certain Australia will have its first hung parliament since 2010. What will that mean? Well, this group of independents, Teals, Greens and other minor parties will decide not only the next Prime Minister, but have a major say in the country's direction over the next 3 years.